All right. Well, I am Mark Miller, the president of Friends of Williamsburg Rowing. I just wanted to thank everyone for taking their time this evening to have this call. We're going to be going over basically who we are, what we're doing, and then how we can help and interact better with WMRC. So, let me switch to the. Do I have control over the slides? Let me see here. Okay, cool. So what is, or who are the Friends of Williamsburg Rowing? We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, which basically just means that we don't have to file taxes, and we are exempt from certain things with IRS. But we're an alumni organization for WMRC. That includes parents and former coaches also. But anyway, we were started, I believe, in the 90s. We helped, let me start here. Basically, we're broken down into a regular exec board, president, vice presidents T.J. Wallen, Travis Moore is the treasurer, and then Liesl Voges is the secretary. We have 12 rotating directors that have a term of 3 years. They're kind of like our panel and help to provide feedback, and then is there for voting purposes also. So why are we necessary? We're more than just donors. We're also advocates and advisors. We have got a long history of experience as exec board members. Again, we have some coaches that are members and parents. And so not only are we here to help financially, but we're here to help with just day-to-day questions and transitions. And why don't we just donate to WMRC's development account? The development account has a lot of restrictions on what can be purchased. I think it has to be tangible items. You can't pay for coaches, and it's also pretty hard to access. You got to go through several hoops with the rec sports and the college to get there, and a lot of times it's not even monitored that well. So we're here as a source to put your income or the finances for WMRC. Going to the next slide, what have we done in the past? We've done a parent booster organization where we work with parents for support of regattas, again, financial fundraising opportunities. In 2003, the WBC, the Williamsburg Boat Club, was formed, and we were pretty important in that startup. I believe we basically started the whole project in general. The boathouse, we helped fundraise, and we secured the location through James City County. So we worked with Linda Knight and multiple others to help get the boathouse on the site, and then again worked with Carl Tack, who was the main donor for the boathouse, and just basically get the money together and get it built. The Surge newsletter has been our yearly or biannual newsletter that we send out to parents, alumni, coaches, anyone who wants to hear what we have to say. So we've done that in the past. We've also purchased boats. There's, I believe, 8 named after us. We bought oars, miscellaneous equipment, again, just helping WMRC keep on top of their equipment purchases. And we've also aided in the coaching interviews and hiring process. So basically we're just old rowers who are here still trying to help and, you know, trying to get WMRC the best we can. So I guess next I'll hand it off to Travis for the campaign and financial update. You want to go ahead and start that off, Travis?
Sure. Thanks, Mark. Just to kind of continue, what Mark was talking about a little bit there. In the past, things that we've done, we raised over $35,000 and raised or accepted donations for maybe a better terminology, but over $35,000 for the boathouse just in 2010 and 2011, and then also since then have in 2012 raised almost $2,000 for the kind of new initiative, the endowment fund, which I'll talk about in a second, as well as almost $1,000 for WMRC, a lot of which went towards buying a new set of 8 oars for the team in, I believe it was April of 2012, just before the end of the championship season, if you will. And then also raised another kind of $1,500 of general donations, which we then used to put towards any of the kind of aforementioned causes or initiatives. One of the ways that we kind of go about trying to raise money and keep money coming in on a regular basis is our subscription campaign. And this is just an ongoing initiative for us to try and convince alumni, friends, donors to make a commitment to monthly donations of any amount that they're comfortable with, but as low as $5. And haven't found an upper limit yet. Someone would have to want to donate a significant amount on a monthly basis for me to figure that one out. But it allows us to have a nice kind of steady stream of income coming in, which is pretty beneficial in knowing that we'll have the ability to commit and do something of kind of substantial size on a regular basis. Whether it's buy a new set of oars or at some point facilitate boat payments or whatever it may be. It just gives us kind of a little bit of insight into our future cash flows. The biggest initiative now since completion of the boathouse is the endowment fund. This is a fund where it's a pool of money basically which would be invested, and the team would be basically living off the interest, would get to withdraw a certain percentage a year to help fund operations, equipment purchases, whatever, but would continue to grow. So it would hopefully be kicking off, say, $1,000 a year, $2,000 a year, just without doing any work for it. Right now, we're kind of in the early stages of that, so it hasn't been fleshed out as to exactly how investments work or what the money will eventually go towards, but we know that we want to continue saving money until we get to a point where we have a decent amount where we can do something of substance. Now, the main goal right now is to get to kind of the $50,000 benchmark, which, based on discussions with Rec Sports, is the minimum amount that would allow us to join in on the college's endowment fund and be tracked separately. And I think there's, they earn, I believe it's 4 or 5% a year, has been historically of just that's what they earn, and that gets paid out and allows, again, to fund whatever we would want. Right now we have about $2,500 towards this goal, still kind of a relatively new goal, but and we'll continue to kind of build upon this, but we have our goal or our idea behind the process in mind. But the last thing, and kind of one of the newest things that we've just deployed, is a WMRC wish list. Based on some discussions with Jason, some information he sent, we were able to put together a little bit of a generic request list of all the equipment out there that could be useful to the team, and then put it out on our website online to allow donors to purchase new items if they wanted. So if somebody wanted to donate a brand new 8, it's up there. They can go about doing that. Or if they wanted to just say purchase an oar for $330 or a Cox box for $500, those items are up there. And the money then goes into a general equipment fund for WMRC. And It really just kind of helps donors or give donors a tangible feeling of what their contribution has done for the team, as opposed to thinking about things on just a general dollars basis. You know, $100, $200. It's hard for people to understand exactly what they've accomplished. And so this is something new that we're just really kind of getting up and running in the past couple of weeks here, and we'll hope to promote this and get it out to the team as a whole, or I guess the alumni base and friends as a whole shortly. With that, I'll pass things over to TJ and let him take you around some of the other initiatives and probably show you the wish list on the website.
Thanks, Travis. So I'm TJ Wallen. I'm the vice president. I graduated in 2010. And so we are doing some other donation drives in addition to the 3 main ones that Travis just went over. One of them I'm sure you already noticed. We had a friend donate pint glasses to the team for you guys to sell. So hopefully that'll fundraise a couple $100. Another donation drive that we're going to start is an NCAA bracket pool with a $10 buy-in. Winner gets WMRC prizes. And hopefully, if this is successful, we'll extend it to other fantasy sports. And we feel this is a good way to keep the alumni talking with each other and donating towards a good cause while still being competitive. Another idea we had is to expand our donor base. You may not know that Carl Tack of Tack Boathouse was never a William & Mary rower. So this was a good job by our previous coach in getting in contact with someone who was outside of our normal base and getting him to help the team out. So the idea we had was to use the William & Mary Alumni Magazine to get news coverage on the team if possible, if not to do a one-page advertisement, maybe sell some oars, decorative oars there. But the idea is to get beyond our normal group of former WMRC rowers to help really expand our donations. The main project we've been working on this year as a board, though, is our new website. And you might wonder why an up-to-date website is important for fundraising. There's a few reasons. It keeps people informed and invested who were once rowers. We are operating under the principle that the main reason why people aren't donating to us is not because they had such a bad time when they're at William & Mary, but because they maybe lost touch with the other rowers or a sense of connectedness with the team. And anything that can improve that would therefore make them more invested and more likely to donate. Another reason is for the people who already do donate to us, they are stakeholders and they deserve to be kept in the loop. And we need an up-to-date website to do that. And lastly, since we collect the majority of our donations online nowadays, thanks to Travis's PayPal account, we need to legitimize our organization with an up-to-date website so that people feel like their money is actually going to an active organization. As part of this whole change, we switched to WordPress because it's easy to update. You don't need to know HTML coding. You can update from your phone or just by sending an email. It's also linked to our Facebook page and our Twitter page, which means that we really only have to update one thing, and then we're on a wide variety of platforms. Another neat feature is that we can publish posts now and have them show up on our website at a later date, which is great for us because we're all alums who have other jobs, and maybe if we could put a race schedule up now and have it released right before the race, that would be beneficial and make sure that we're constantly active and there's no lulls. Another benefit of this website is that there's easy access to all the donation campaign information, particularly the ones that Travis just outlined, including a guide to giving with information on how to maximize your donation through corporate matching and other techniques. And one of the recent things that has gotten a lot of attention on Facebook, if you've noticed, is that we've updated our archives. And we now have over 4,000 photos, and we have race results back to 1996, which goes beyond even what the team has on your website. And this is something that we're finding is very popular, particularly among the older alums, and has really raised awareness. So we're looking to expand on that. Right now, I'm going to take a break from the presentation and show you the website. In case you haven't ever gone to it, I highly recommend you go to it now. So it's just williamsburgrowing.org. As you can see, there's a variety of tabs up top, including about, where you could get more information about our tax-exempt status, how our organization is run with our membership and bylaws. There's information for donors donating online, by mail, the campaign drives like the endowment fund, subscriptions, and wish list. And then there's even stuff for you, where if you guys want to show the team this, there's a section that will show them more about what they can do to help us, and of course our archives. So going back to the presentation, one of the things that we need to explain to you guys is what can we do for you. So the biggest gift I think we can do is the long-term financial planning. What we've noticed in the past at William & Mary is that there is a cycle to this nature. It's great that it's a student-run organization, but because it's student-run, there is a high turnover in leadership. And if you get a leader who may not be strong in finances, what you'll see is that the finances tend to struggle. And then what happens is you get a leader who's really good with finances and the team has too much money. In order to stabilize that, we can help you with some long-term financial planning by maybe holding money, having you guys give money to the endowment fund to help it grow. Travis has already talked to your treasurer about oversight using a website to make sure that things aren't out of whack from where they were in previous years. So these are good strategies because we understand that you guys are 19 and 20 years old and you're asked to operate sometimes a six-figure budget over the course of a year. And that's a lot of money coming in and out to trust in the hands of someone who's inexperienced with funds. So we think it's a good idea if you guys communicate with us and we can help you plan. As Travis mentioned, we disperse funds for purchases. He gave a good example of what we've done the past 3 years, including the $1,500 for equipment in this past year. One of the newer things we're trying to do to help WMRC is advise you guys. Many of us are former leaders on the team. For example, Mark was, I believe, VP before being president. Travis was a two-term president. I was a two-term president. Liesl was involved in other organizations and helped manage AMP's budget. So she's good. We know people on campus. We have good working relations with them. Linda Knight loves Travis. But more than that, we also have an institutional memory of where the team has been, what we've done in the past. A lot of the problems you guys will face are problems that we probably have faced ourselves, and we might know some solutions that you didn't think about or we could help. Don't take this as we're telling you what to do. We don't want the job of managing the team, but we can definitely help out and respond to emails and give you guys advice. And again, as I mentioned, for the long-term financial planning, Travis can help advise you guys with the oversight. Another benefit is the network. If you underestimate this, just think that you guys were struggling to find suitable coaches until a friend in Nathan Walker, former coach, suggested Graham and Jason. So we do help out. We have advertised for the rowing camp in the past. There are a good number of former rowers here who have now gone on to coach high schools. So use us. We're a great resource at your disposal. And now it's Liesl's turn to explain what you guys can do to help us.
All right, hi guys. Well, besides just maintaining a little bit more open dialogue than we necessarily have in the past, there are some other things that we want to make sure we continue working on. It has improved a lot, I think, in the past couple of years, but one thing is to update and share contact info. I've actually already been in touch with Aaron about this, and we're merging our documents and keeping things actually in a Dropbox folder that we can both access, so we can make sure that's all kept up to date so that we have access to all the alumni information once people graduate. Also, schedule events together. We tried to do an event and actually did have a small event at Head of the Charles where we were hoping to kind of get alumni involved and interested and interact with the team as well. We would like to do that going forward at regattas and with our annual meeting that we're going to try to schedule soon. Also, we just kind of like this meeting, we really want to make sure current rowers know about Friends. One way we think that we might want to do this is to actually either have Mark go speak since he's the local, or somehow do some kind of video chat with you guys at one of your team meetings. Just to give like a brief overview, not anything this in-depth, but just a brief overview of what Friends is so that we're not such like a question mark of what our role is with you guys. Also, as mentioned before, we want to keep collaborating. The the last episode that came out of Your Backsplash was a backsplash surge combo. And we actually think that went really well. We actually had a few donations come in right after that was released. So that's always a plus. So we want to keep doing that. We think that the combination of the alumni news with the team news is really a good combo. And then also we want to make sure that we're really in touch with the coaches, especially Jason and Graham right now. We have, I think TJ has worked hard to update the past stats and race summaries on the website. And we really think that those will be enjoyed by all the alumni to kind of just be kept up with the team and how the team's doing and who has raced and who placed and why things happen. So that's something we really want to work with either the coaches or the team captains on after each race to make sure that we really keep that updated. I think that's it for me. I think we're going to switch over now from friends, and I'll unmute Logan if we want to do an update from the team.
All right, can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. All right, so first of all, thank you guys for setting this up. Sorry we had some issues getting started at first, but myself and the rest of the board is really glad that we had an opportunity to get to talk to you guys all at once. I know we've benefited already meeting some of y'all one-on-one, meeting with Mark and Ashley, having a chance to talk to Travis about budgetary stuff really does kind of hammer home that institutional memory component, which we've already benefited from in the kind of crazy first couple weeks of getting our financial situation in order. So that part, I think going forward, I think the increased oversight and increased working together on that is helpful for everybody, in that you guys have the perspective of kind of big picture, long-term financial planning that we necessarily cannot do from semester to semester, something that not every exec board has the luxury of doing, and it's nice to have you guys behind there doing that. I think, as you mentioned, with what Aaron's done with you, Lisa, already, really working for better outreach and better connection that helps everybody. Having more events or having you guys speak to the team would be great, because it is in all of our interests to kind of get our name out there even more. And as people who have left kind of the confines of what we do here and out in the real world, there's no better people to really get the name out there than you guys working with us. So I think that's a great place to start. In terms of where we are now, we are wrapping up winter training. We start tomorrow, the last 3 weeks of winter training, getting ready to go into the spring. Finally finalized the spring racing schedule after meeting with Mark several times to talk about some of the issues behind that. So if you guys haven't had a chance to see it, we are starting probably with a duel with Liberty. The details being worked out on that, because we plan on having Liberty come here, and Jason's still working with their coach. March 30th in Richmond for Rockets Landing. Cyrus being the real big one. April 2021. We've had a great year last year there, hoping to do better this year even. And then skipping to Acra's 25th and 26th of May. Having more people stay behind, hopefully, than we did before, and kind of moving towards the place where that's a big set regatta for the team that's kind of assuming a stable spot on the schedule that maybe didn't have before. So I guess that's kind of where we all are. Having put the finances in order, having started to kind of communicate with you guys what kind of purchases and what kind of fundraising we need to do going forward, we're getting ready to move into a season that looks to be more stable than we thought it was going to be a few weeks ago. So I guess if you guys have any questions for us or anything like that, I don't know if we can talk back and forth on this or not, but
again, if the directors of FWR, if you want to ask questions or talk, you can raise your hand on the panel on the right, or type in a message in the chat, and we can unmute you or answer the question there. So if you have any questions, go ahead. Okay, well, again, we can also communicate through email or, I guess, texting, whatever, phone calls. But yeah, we can work on, I guess, our next meeting. We are trying to put together the time for our annual meeting in Williamsburg, which I think we've talked about doing in a Rockets Landing weekend. So you guys will hear more from us then, but we'd love to have all of WMRC exec board, coaches, anybody. We're actually going to invite Linda Knight like normal, but that's an open meeting and discussion. And I know years past we kind of go out and hang out at the delis and get to know each other on a more personal level. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Travis, Lisa, TJ, is there anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to add one thing. We're only as useful as you guys let us be. We had no idea that you had such complicated launch problems and that Jason and Graham's transition wasn't going as smoothly. And we understand that that is on us too, but we don't know, if you guys don't tell us that something's up, we can't help you, so please use us. You don't have to follow exactly what we say. You don't even have to listen to us, but we're a good resource, and we can probably offer some interesting perspective. So please just email us if you have any questions whatsoever. I know that you guys already reached out to Travis Hall about camp, and that was a good move. If you need any other help, just, again, feel free to message us. We'll mobilize our directors and our group and really make it work for you guys.
Thank you for that, TJ. And I know you've already been kind of in contact with Kathy some too on the fundraising stuff. And I mean, all those that kind of back and forth really helps us. So we'll kind of push the effort on our side, and we appreciate your guys' help.
All right, I think that's going to do it then. Unless anyone else has something they want to add. All right.
The presentation is available on our website, so if you want to share that with the team or look at it later on to get an idea of what we need you to do, feel free.
Okay. Cool. I think that's probably it on our end.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for taking an hour of your time and joining us, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
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 That'd be so awkward.